President Muhammadu Buhari will unveil the central bank digital currency known as the eNaira today at the State House in Abuja. According to a statement by the Central Bank of Nigeria at the weekend, the digital currency was coming after detailed research spanning many years. According to experts, the eNaira launch was a wake-up call for the CBN, giving Nigerians appetite for cryptocurrency as most Nigerians were turning to crypto for business to protect their savings as the Naira loses value and to send payment abroad because it's often hard to obtain United States dollar. So let's explore the unveiling of the CBN digital currency that's ongoing today in Abuja and the impact of this on the economy. Tola Joseph Fadiwagwe is an expert in the fintech sector and founder Crypto Masterclass. He joins us via the telephone now. Thank you so much for your time, Tola.
You're welcome.
I know it was a busy weekend for you. We appreciate your time again for being with us. The last time we discussed, of course, we look at the fact that the CBN, it's like CBN is trying to wake up from its slumber, but it took the CBN this long to finally launch the eNaira today. What more should we expect to see after the launch today?
All right, thank you very much. After the launch today, we should not expect to see much. And here is why. The birth of eNaira is obviously triggered by the evolution of Bitcoin, of the blockchain tech itself. But if you look at if you look at the whole setting so far, the whole discussion, it has been that CBN has not been seeing cryptocurrency like Bitcoin as something revolutionary. In fact, a few weeks ago, the CBN governor said it is obvious that based on records, Nigeria is topping the list globally. Recently, we beat North America to be the biggest in peer-to-peer trading volume globally. And what the governor said, the CBN governor said, was all these things are not having direct impact on the economy. And at the time, he said the whole thing could be fraud because there is no impact that it has contributed into our own GDP. That being said, you can't throw away an idea that you are creating something from, and you want that very thing to scale. Take for instance, there is no way you want to build a website and you want to get rid of the internet. You want to tarnish the internet, and you want to launch a website. It doesn't work because your website can only come to the reality because there is something called the internet. So we expect to see much different. Before the launch was suspended, October 1st, something interesting happened which I wrote about on Facebook.
Right.
There are three levels. There are three levels by which we can get different accounts. And if you look at when it comes to volume that can be transacted, it is very limited. I know that CBN is trying to mitigate corruption, which is a very welcome idea. But there is so much limitation which CBN also needs to look into.
So what do you think are some of the limitations that this platform is faced with?
Okay, the first thing is for my followers, for instance, since I started teaching them about eNaira, they see eNaira as Bitcoin. They see eNaira as the Niger Bitcoin. So they believe that they want to buy eNaira, and at later in the future it could appreciate and they could cash out big. But I told them that eNaira is not like that. eNaira is just digital Naira. It's digital fiat. The same way you see Naira is the same way you should see eNaira. It's just that eNaira cannot be printed. Okay? Whatever happens to the Naira we print will also happen to eNaira. So there is no significant difference. The only thing here is that eNaira cannot be printed. Okay? It cannot be printed. And the fact remains that it will be easier to mint eNaira, unlike the supply keeps increasing, I don't think it will checkmate inflation. I don't think it will scale businesses until there is a consideration to improve volume. Take for instance, if I transact, let's say $1,000, and my profit is 10%, that means I've made $100 for that day, right, or on that business. But if I transact $1 million, 10%, I make $100,000. But what happens if I cannot transact $1 million because I am limited to $1,000, let's say, daily volume? So it means that it won't have any like me moving forward financially is already restricted because of regulation, because of very painful restriction in place when it comes to transactions.
Is that a disadvantage of the digital currency platform now? Is that what you're saying? Would you say that's a disadvantage because the volume of the amount of money that should be moved per day is limited?
Yes, it is a disadvantage for business owners.
So how do you harmonize that? If there's a limitation on the movement of physical cash, and the same limitation is placed on this digital currency, how do we harmonize that? How do we reconcile these differences?
Okay, first off, there are limitations when it comes to decentralized cryptocurrencies. A few months ago, we saw how Bitfinex is actually one of the top exchanges in the world. Bitfinex moved more than $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin in a single transaction. Okay, now, when it comes to Bitcoin, you can transact as much as you can. No limitations. You can buy, sell on an exchange. No daily limit. Depends on the level of your account verification. But looking at eNaira, for someone like me, I will use eNaira, but it won't be attractive. It won't have great impact the same way other cryptocurrencies I'm talking about volatile would have impact on my own finances because of the limitations. Just take for instance, if I am to run a business and I don't have a corporate account, if I have, let's say, savings account, it is very obvious that savings account is limited to 5 million naira daily. So what happens if I want to acquire an item that is worth, let's say, 20 million naira? So I have to transact for 4 days before that can be acquired. But with cryptocurrencies, with volatile cryptocurrencies, no limitations. You push the button, you get your item instantly.
So interesting stuff there. But let's look again at the there are concerns that have been raised already. One of them is the issue of security and how secure or how prepared is the central bank to handle some of the challenges that may come with hackings and fraud and all of that. Do you think the central bank is prepared to face this?
Yes, they have the resources to improve their security. But there is something that we must understand. Unlike cryptocurrencies, if anything new is coming, there should be a kind of beta testing, there should be a kind of bounty for anyone that could discover any bug on the system. But sadly, we've not been approached. I'm talking about Nigerians. Have not been approached by this. Before the launch of eNaira, there should be a kind of beta testing. Nigerians at random should be invited to test run the wallet system, and also those in the IT area should also be invited, to carry out different acts. We've seen that with different cryptocurrency wallets, whereby developers will throw a bounty. It could be $100,000 and say, if you can actually add this wallet, you win this reward. But there is nothing done. So we could be faced with challenges moving forward, scalability challenges, wallet internet going offline, congested network, and so on and so forth. I think we may see this happening. I think we will see it happening.
Okay. Given the fact that you said there are limitations to this, I mean, one other thing that the CBN said is that perhaps there's going to be an integration of Forex, all right, into these processes. How easy would this serve as a platform for dollar remittances, given the fact that you said there are limitations to this?
Of course, if the CBN would incorporate Forex to the wallet system, it will still be attractive. That is it. It will be attractive. It's like an entrepreneur that wants to go into a business that would employ, let's say, 100 persons. You don't expect him to hang in with a savings account. He wants to upgrade to a limited liability company's account. So with the limitations on eNaira wallet transactions that we've seen so far, according to CBN, is on eNaira website. There is no way this will be attractive for someone like me that are in digitally won't even find that offering attractive. So it depends. It depends on the category of persons coming, for someone just getting exposed into the digital sphere of finance may find that attractive. But for someone that wants to do volume may not find it attractive.
The initial concern, initially is whether the CBN will consider improving on this platform to make it tradable. So, because according to the CBN, the unveiling of the eNaira marks the first step in the journey of the Naira evolution, and this means that there will be further modification and enhancement. So, given your experience in digital asset management like cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, so would you suggest that the CBN may factor in elements of tradable asset to keep the value of the Naira?
First off, CBN must recognize cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin as a digital asset. They must see it as a revolutionary currency, store of value, and of course, commodity. Now, when that is defined, it will make the SEC, to have some kind of regulations on that. And there should be our own local market. I tell people a lot that these Chinese come to Nigeria, they approach us, they give us, nice deals that we can't even reject. And just to promote their own exchanges to the consumers here in Nigeria and Africa. What happens if CBN sees cryptocurrencies as what is revolutionary, to create jobs, to help checkmate unemployment, and also start to call on the banks to work on powerful spot market exchanges? It shows that we can drive liquidity not only within our continent but outside in other continents. We can drive liquidity. We have Nigerians everywhere in the world. They will be willing, to start using these platforms. I still don't know why we are calling Bitcoin fraud and we want to launch eNaira. Call it internet fraud. I want to launch a website. I will never understand that.
So would it be right to make a comparison between the cryptocurrency and all the other Bitcoins with this platform?
With eNaira?
Yes.
No. They are totally different. Totally different. First off, eNaira does not yield anything. Instead, the buying power of eNaira will continue to decline. Don't take my word for it. Let's go back to 1970s when Naira was way bigger than dollars. What has happened today? Our Naira is more than 500 times down to $1. And it's because of things that are obvious. For instance, our Naira is not performing well in the global market scene. You travel to Dubai, you hold Naira, you approach the cashier at the airport. They will tell you they don't recognize this as what they can actually liquidate over the counter. But if you bring out dollar, they will do that almost everywhere in the world. If you take dollar to the cashier, they will be able to liquidate. But for Naira, it is not performing well at the global market. So it is not. In fact, there are two parallel lines. Cryptocurrencies will continue to be revolutionary, to be a store of value, to create wealth. eNaira, on the other hand, we only perform can only perform like.
So as we go. Okay, so as we wrap up now, are there lessons to learn from some of the tradable assets around the globe for CBN as it launches the eNaira today?
So many lessons. CBN must understand that despite the fact that they are not seeing cryptocurrencies, I'm talking about volatile ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that, as something that is worthy of store of value. Right. Nigerians are still topping the list. Now, Nigeria are also topping the list in the area of NFTs.
So what's the value now? What's the value, tradable value in terms of other digital assets like cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin at the moment for Nigeria?
I would like to answer that generally for the cryptocurrency market generally.
Right.
And that's at the moment it's over $2.3 trillion for the cryptocurrencies in the market.
That's huge number for Nigeria.
That is for the global market, and Nigeria have a lot improvement in this.
Yeah. I think we'll have to leave it there because of our time. Tola, thank you so much for your time. Tola Joseph Arugagwe is an expert in the fintech industry and founder Crypto Masterclass. Thank you once again for finding time being with us on the program today.
You're welcome.